Hello there, everyone. William Hetzel, the sports intern here at WJOB this summer, also known as the Intern Boy, according to Ryan Walsh and Jimmy Mullaney. Thank you to Tony Panic for staying an extra hour for me today. This isn't, usual programming or anything like that, but it's my last day as an intern here, so Jim Deedlow wants me to get an hour to do a show. And I bring that up too because there are a lot more security changes this year at Chicago's Lollapalooza due to the unfortunate events that happened last October in Las Vegas at that country music festival when Stephen Paddock killed 58 people and wounded over 500 more. I will say this is a big sigh of relief for someone like me that's going, and if any of you out there are going or have any family or friends that are going to be attending, because it is one of the biggest music festivals out there, especially in Chicagoland. This is my third year in a row going, and I could tell you I feel a lot better knowing there's going to be more security out there because one thing that's stuck out to me even before the Las Vegas shooting, because again that happened a couple months after the fact of Lollapalooza. Um, just I remember walking up to the gate and people checking the wristbands and whatnot, and looking through bags and different things that people brought in, there's no metal detectors. They didn't really pat you down or anything. I remember opening my backpack, or I should say camelback, because I had the bag with the water bladders in there, which is a real trendy thing for anyone going to festivals and whatnot like that, because you just, they're really convenient. You just drink as you go. And water, of course, no special beverages in there. You're not supposed to, but you never know. People, I'm sure, find a way to get around those things. But I'll never forget the woman that was checking my bag. I unzipped the top of it and, flipped it open, and she looked inside there. I have asthma, so I had an inhaler just in case I needed it. I think I had a pair of socks and a shirt, my phone chargers, wallet, just, a bunch of the stuff that I needed that I didn't want to carry in my pockets or had room for. And she just looks in the bag and that's it. And that stuck with me the whole day. I'm like, there's been a lot of terroristic activities and shootings and people running over people with cars and vans and whatnot. And I was just like, really, this is a music festival with thousands of people, and you're just gonna peek inside my bag, to take it down, a darker path. What if I did have some kind of weapon that I could have hurt people with? Now, obviously, I'm not gonna come in with this big assault rifle or shotgun in this little bag. But even say if I did have a pistol, the point is I could still harm people and could still ruin the festival. And it's a little bit scary too because after the Las Vegas shooting, we found out that Stephen Paddock booked some rooms at a hotel across the street from Grant Park, where the festival takes place. And I will say that makes you, it stops you in your tracks. I remember the day that was announced in the group chat that all my friends that went to Lollapalooza with me, I would say probably within 20 to 30 minutes of that story breaking, at least three or four of them sent the link to the story, or a story reported from, so many news sites saying that Stephen Paddock was planning on going to Lollapalooza. He scouted it out a few weeks beforehand, but he never showed up, which thank God, because, you know, I I don't know if I don't think they ever released what day he was going to be there. I was there on the first day last year, and you would assume maybe that would have been the day, given the fact that, usually, the first day of a festival or an event and the last day, there would be a lot of people, maybe the most people. Hello and good morning. I am William Hetz. Alongside me is Sunny Santana. We are part of the show, pardon the interns here at WJOB this summer. So we get an opportunity once a week here to do our own little show. Something you don't hear about much, and I know obviously because he's not a superstar player, but of course out here in Northwest Indiana, we care about him a lot and follow him and pay attention to him, and that's Glenn Robinson III, who for the last 3 seasons he's played with the Pacers. He just signed a contract, 2 years, $8.3 million with the Detroit Pistons. So he's going to be moving on. He's had an okay career. I mean, he's found a way to stay relevant in the NBA, which is great. A guy that comes off the bench. We know 2 years ago he won the dunk contest. But personally, I think this is a good move for not only the Pistons, but a good move for Robinson himself to kind of rejuvenate his career again because last year he only played in 23 games for the Pacers because in training camp he hurt his ankle pretty bad, so he missed the majority of that heck of a season. With Victor Oladipo.
getting more and more.
Yeah, and I mean, just this expansion team too is going to help. Not only is Vegas a fantastic market to get into for the league,
Exactly.
I mean, like when you just seeing all the events they have outside the stadium. I know they had Lil Jon performing before Game One. What's I think the rapper Logic was
Yeah,
performing
he's
outside in one of the earlier series, and that I'm amazed at just how quickly that fan base, or how quickly that fan base formed, and how much they've fallen in love with that team. Now, obviously, when you're top three team in the entire league, people are going to pay attention to you. Just like with the Hawks, no one cared about the Hawks 10, 15 years ago before they started winning and got Tays and Kane and whatnot. But the fact that this team, being a first year team, expansion team, you name it, with a bunch of guys. I mean, Marc-Andre Fleury, James Neal, both proven guys, some veteran experience. But, William Karlsson, one of the top scorers in the league this year, was practically a nobody with
yeah.
Columbus.
No one knew who he
Yeah.
was at all.
So there's a lot of guys that are youngsters, kind of up and coming. You've heard their name, but they never were the top guys on their previous teams. And they come in here and they mesh well, they play well together, and just to see that arena, light up. They have that unique, ice performance with the night, and a lot of cool lighting effects and whatnot. Like the fact that just the way this organization was developed and the support it garnered right away, I think that was fantastic. And obviously, like you mentioned, with hockey slowly but surely kind of coming on the rise. I think the Blackhawks did that for a while with being so good with their dynasty, and the Penguins too with their recent so-called dynasty. I think the Knights are going to be the next thing that keep bringing it up.
When it comes to like the social media thing, I mean, I completely agree with you. I mean, it is a cancer. I mean, you've probably heard me and Grant argue about it all the time when you're here.
It is
but
it's a
it
conversation
yeah.
almost every week, seriously,
Mm-hmm.
and with a good point. And like I said, I try to, as you know, that I'm at Ball State, trying to get into the media world here, try to work in radio or something and cover sports and whatnot. And media today, you're supposed to kind of have a Twitter. You're supposed to be involved with posting and sharing things to, tweet out your shows, or, whatever content you're going out to produce and whatnot. And it's sometimes it's so tough to do that, because I'm just not motivated to go on and send out a tweet or a post, because there's so much stuff on there, and you never know when you're going to post something or make a comment on a general post from maybe a page you follow, and then someone's got to make a snarky comment and argue or say something ridiculous back. So even for someone like me who kind of needs to be on social media, it's difficult, and I don't know if you ever saw Facebook or Twitter drama or ever been a part of it, but I've been a few times when I was younger, and it's not worth it. It's stupid.
No, I mean, I completely agree with you. I had a Facebook, but I got off like all social media like about 3 years ago, and I haven't been on since. Like, I still haven't even added my girlfriend of a year on, and she's still mad at me for that. But I mean, it's just like I heard an analogy the other day where someone compared social media to kind of like alcohol, in the sense that when you're behind like a keyboard or something, you have like you'll do stuff that you wouldn't normally say or do, and it's completely valid, because like you'll go on social media and you'll make like a post or a tweet or something, and someone decides to have an opinion and will just argue about it that they wouldn't have normally done when they're in person. I mean,
Exactly. It's like people have get this confidence, this extra boost of confidence and strength to, maybe attack someone or put their political views on a tweet or a Facebook post or Instagram. There's Snapchat, whatever. There's so many social media apps and websites now that you can do this stuff on. It doesn't always have to be Facebook and Twitter, but since those are the two big things out there, and there's I've seen friendships break up because of Facebook drama, and people, they're obsessed today with followers and whatnot. I mean, I have a bunch of Facebook friends. That's where I spend most of my time, and Twitter, it's okay. I might have a little over 100 followers. I really don't care. Again, maybe one day I got to care more when I get, into the professional world of radio and television here in really just about a year, because we're going to be graduating here shortly. But it's just, it's tough to even motivate myself to go on social media. And I know our other roommate, Grant, who's watching too. Thank you for watching and listening, Grant. That there's been a couple of times he's deleted Twitter and whatnot. It's so stressful, and you got better things to do than sit there and argue with people. I mean, sometimes, especially with the political climate these days, ever since this last election, everyone, it just, they feel obligated to post their political views, and it gets ugly sometimes.